Hi guys, so if you watched our previous how-to video on how to mount the mirror, that's basically the first part of setting up your vanity mirror. So now that you have your mirror on, we're gonna walk you through how to prep it to go on the wall. So what you need and what we typically ship with all orders is your bracket to mount it that comes with instructions on the back on how to mount it. We also provide you an L bracket and 2 little screws that you will need for the L bracket, and then 2 white plastic anchors. But that is if you have like a small vanity mirror. If you have a large, or if you're mounting a tall, then you would use the bigger bracket and you would use 3 anchors instead of 2. So we're gonna set up the small one and we'll show you exactly how to do that. So you can start by opening your package. When you open your package, it includes 2 metal brackets, 2 screws that are smaller and 2 screws that are bigger, and a little level. So you'll grab this bracket, which you can slide the level into. It comes off easily, so make sure you don't tip it. And then this bracket goes with these 2 screws. So you'll grab your drill. So this is the bottom of your frame where the lights are. This is the top. This bracket, holes up, will go in the center where the socket is, right on the edge. So you'll center this, and then you'll center it in between this 3/4 inch wood. So you don't want it too high up because it will tear up, and you don't want it too low because it will tear down. So you center it. You add your screw to your drill, and then you add the screws to the opposite end. Make sure you drill in slowly so you don't crack the wood. Okay, so you have your bracket on here. That's the first step. The L bracket, which we provided you, will go on the bottom, basically sitting onto the frame. And you're gonna grab one of the thicker screws and you will drill it down into the frame. And make sure this is also centered. That's step 2. Now you go back to this bracket and we're gonna mount it to the wall. So normally, if your desk, depending on the desk you have, I normally mount it to be 3 inches off your desk. So if your desk is, 40 inches, you would measure 33 inches above your desk. The small one is 32 inches, so you just measure 1 inch higher. When you place the bracket and mount the mirror, it gives it a 3-inch gap between the desk. It's kind of confusing, but that's just how it is. So if you have a small, measure 33 inches up, and if you have a large, 38 inches up. So it's always 1 inch higher than what the actual frame is. So let's just pretend that I'm missing a little piece. Hold on, what's right here? Okay. So let's just pretend that I measured 33 inches above my desk. You're gonna draw a line where that 33 inches is, and then you'll make sure that the level is centered. So right there, it's centered and the frame would be straight. If it were crooked, then you'd obviously be able to tell based on that little bubble. So you make sure that it's leveled. And then I'm just gonna drill a little bit to mark, I'll just go like this, to mark where I need to pre-drill. Okay, so those are the 2 places I need to put holes into. So you're gonna grab a drill bit to pre-drill, that way you can insert the plastic anchors, which will give you a better grip on drywall. If you don't have studs behind the wall and you drill just directly into the drywall, it will eventually tear out of the wall because of the weight. So with time, drilling straight into the drywall is not secure. So you want to pre-drill into the drywall, add some plastic anchors, and then you add your screws. So you'll grab a drill bit. It is the size, I'll add the size on the side, but it doesn't specify. So you put your first hole, and then you add and insert your plastic anchor. And then this is the second hole. So you add your second plastic anchor. You put your drill back. Okay, so now you put your bracket back on. You drill the big screw into the plastic anchor. And then you drill the second one. And that is all. So now you grab your frame, pick it up carefully, make sure someone helps you in carrying it just because it can be heavy for some. So you make sure that the mirror is centered with that bracket, and then you just hang it on. It's basically a hook. So you put the bracket on the wall, bracket on the frame, and then there you have it. So I normally use a second level to help me make sure that it is centered. So if you see right now, it shows that it's a little bit not centered. So now when I'm gonna add my last screw, I shift my frame a little bit to make sure that it is now leveled. And then I add this screw on the bottom. So you see how you can see that bracket we added? So now you add this. The reason for this bracket is when you pull out your USB cords or your hair tool stuff, when you pull it out, the mirror would be flapping without that screw. So that screw gives it a little bit more security. And then if you ever want to remove it, you just take that screw off, push the mirror up, and you take it wherever you go. Make sure you take the bracket that you put on the wall with you as well. You would just need 2 new plastic anchors for future purposes, wherever you go. So again, if you were to mount a large one, then you need 3 plastic anchors and the bigger bracket. And if you were to mount a tall one, you could still use this bracket. Now, if you want to mount the twins custom, you would need 2 of these. And these are provided with your order. If you were to lose it, it does cost more to get a new one. So again, there you have it. If you have any questions, you're always welcome to let us know. But it is fairly easy. If I could do it, you guys can all do it. So thank you so much.